Part 3 isn't really a discussion. The examiner won't offer you his or her opinion on the topic, and you shouldn't ask for it. The main point to remember is that in this part, you should be speaking more than the examiner. In Part 3, you should expect to be challenged about the things you say. For example, you might be asked to give reasons for your opinions, explain your ideas in more detail, or offer a reason why other people might have a different point of view. Remember that in this final section, you need to be able to show you can argue a point. Some of the questions in Part 3 will be quite difficult because they're designed to push you to your linguistic limits. This is not the section where you talk about you and your experiences. You need to show that you can offer opinions on world topics and bigger social questions in a more general way. So, be prepared for harder questions. If you don't understand a question in Part 3, ask the examiner to explain it. He or she should be able to rephrase it or give you examples to help you out. If you can't think of anything to say, start by buying a bit of time. Say that you've never thought about this topic before, or say that it's a really interesting question. The next step might be to give the most obvious opinion. For example, if the examiner asks you what kind of buildings are publicly owned in your country, begin by saying the main government offices in your country. Just get started. You might remember other examples, such as libraries, schools, places for the homeless to sleep in, once you start talking. Then you can try and give a reason why it's a good thing for governments to own these buildings. If you can, think about people who might have a different opinion. You don't have to personally agree with what you're saying, and you won't be marked on the quality of your ideas or how true they are. But you do need to give the examiner plenty of language to assess in Part 3. If your mind really does go completely blank, and that can happen under test conditions, just tell the examiner, don't worry about it, and try your best with the next question. This is not like a job interview and it won't affect your grade.